You guys, I am back again. So this is video number 3 of the day. Oh, these edits is whooping my ass. My issue is I'm a fucking night owl, and I clearly I don't be getting my day started till like 4 o'clock on my days off. So clearly I have to start treating this shit like it's a job because it's I started recording at like 7. It is 11, and I still have 2 more videos to record and edit. So let's pray for Ebony that she can get up early in the day and start this shit because it's a lot of other stuff I wanted to do today. I'm not even about to do it. I'm just about to go home and charge it and try again tomorrow. But yeah, to keep it brief, we are going to get started on Miss Raven Lenae. I'm such a big fan of her. I love her music so much. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Okay, so the initial thing I'm thinking about is the cover of is it the Crush EP? That is where I started becoming a fan of her. She has amazing fucking music. If you've never listened to Closer, ode to you, go listen to it right now, right now. Yeah, but the first thing I get is that Raven, I'm not saying that she's a mean girl, but she could kind of be like smart or like smart at the mouth or kind of just like quick to put somebody in their place. I think that she's often right. She might have a strong intuition or just like her assessments or just like judgments of people tend to be correct, but people around her might call her like I don't know if it's like a silver tongue or something like that. Like not to say that she's totally mean, but she can be fucked up at the mouth. She's an Aquarius. You gotta it just comes with the territory. It's just very interesting also because Raven is very like she's a very petite girl and then she also just has very like quiet music. Like she seems very quiet and like introverted and thoughtful, but I honestly feel like she might have an issue with talking shit either to or about the wrong people. So I would just excuse me, I would just tell her watch your mouth on who you speak to in confidence, especially about other people because you might think some I'm thinking I don't know, I'm thinking about Dominic like cuz they see her with that man yeah, they see her with him the other day. So I don't know. I just would be careful of who you talk shit about and who you talk shit to because it can get back to them and she might be gagging a little bit when it comes back around. Yeah, she definitely has some people around her who are not her friends. This is something that is a little bit different. Like normally I get that people God, my dehydration. But like with who I've been doing, I haven't so far gotten anybody who's like anybody directly around these people who are malicious, but she literally has friends. Like for example, she might really be the kind of person like this is kind of old school. I just heard somebody talk about this, but like you ever call somebody? So have you ever called somebody and then put your friend on the phone and then muted them and then called another person like on a three-way line and then let's say your friend's name is Megan. You called this other person, let's say that their name is Anna, all right? And you called Anna and you like, hey Anna, mind you, Megan is on the phone, she's just being silent. Anna don't know this is a three-way call. And you like, hey Anna, isn't Megan a broke down busted bitch? And she's like, fuck yeah. Megan is this and that and that and that. She has friends around her that to me are trying to get her caught up for talking shit. So that might even be why she doesn't really come off as this person because maybe she's just speaking to people in confidence, but they're gonna run back and tell what she said. Maybe I don't really see this as the press. This could be to other people who have high standing in community or in music that like relationships that would matter to her. I'm thinking about Quincy Jones. So I don't know if this is a very respected producer or someone with a high status, like somebody who you just can't talk shit about them and think that you're allowed to, just kind of move any way that you want. I'm not saying like this kind of gives me Beyonce energy. I'm not saying that it's about Beyonce, but it just feels like someone with this level of influence where it's like if they say they don't fuck with you, you probably not moving too much at all. This could even be an executive or somebody behind the scenes. Yeah. I to pivot a little bit, I wouldn't be surprised if Raven is in love right now, especially with Dominic. Like we saw them in the car together. Um, I don't know if people know exactly when they met, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were talking for a couple months at this point. So like when we caught them, they were comfortable like that because they've been talking. I do think she'll fall in love. In general, it might be with him, but she could just fall in love soon. I just don't. I'm afraid that it won't be reciprocated because I feel like she thinks about him a lot. But he doesn't really think about her, or it's not a good feeling. It's like I'm obsessed with you, but like I'm never happy with this. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of a very specific. I'm thinking of something I wrote that was it was just really sad. Where it's basically I was just saying, oh my gosh, I had this thing. It's like a personal thing to myself, and I call it the phenomenon of difference. Where like if you've ever watched Girlfriends, it's a really good example of where like you know how Joan was supposed to show up for Tony in court for like to help her like child support or divorce case or maybe custody case, and then Joan wanted to go outside and be a hot girl and that failed or whatever. It's just like what basically I say all that to say with the phenomenon of difference, I say like there's going to be a moment in your relationship where when you're not meant to be together, there's going to be a moment where you guys literally can't show up for each other in a moment that you need each other, like because the other's needs are conflicting. Like I'm going to tell my business a little bit. So my parents, for example, my mother, there was one year where she had wanted us to go visit her family, right? Because her father specifically was super super fucking old. We had met him one time, but we wanted to go again because, you know, it wasn't that he was crazy sickly, it's just like we were just worried that he might pass away. But that same year my dad had, like, it's like this social group, we're just going to call it a social group, that he wanted to go to an event for. So we were supposed to go in December to go see our grandfather, but it didn't come to pass because my dad had the little social thing. So she misses spending time with her family because they live obviously in Africa. She misses spending time with her family to go to my dad's social event. You know, if you know anything about traveling to Africa, it's very expensive, and it's something that you have to. Generally, people will go for like weeks or months at a time. So it was just time out that she probably wouldn't get approved any other time of year. So we just never ended up going. And then 6 months later, my grandfather ended up dying. That's not funny, but just so you can get the gist of, like, you know, it was either like, it's either that you show up for the other person, um it's like someone has to, someone, you're going to be put in a point in a relationship where someone has to abandon themselves for the other person to be fulfilled. And that's why I brought up the Joan and Tony situation, because Joan was just trying to fulfill her life, and then Tony was trying to literally also fulfill her life, but what they needed from the others conflicted so much that they just kind of, it was, and that was the major breakup in their relationship, right? I feel like loving him is a great source of anxiety for her. She could think incessantly, or it can make her quite insecure. And it's very interesting because I know that she just had a breakthrough with Love Me Not, and this just kind of feels like a continuation of that. Especially if she thought that she was kind of getting forward, or she thought it was going to be great. That is he Asian, Filipino. He's everything. Whatever that everything man is doing to her, he's taking her through it, through there. This is the kind of nigga who you could be with him for 4 months, and then you're like, oh my god, I love my boyfriend. And he's like, boyfriend? When did I say I was gonna be a boyfriend? Like, very just acting brand new in a way that's very, like, it might not be that situation specifically, but it's that energy of like, you think that you got him, and then you talk to him, and he's like, got who? Like, I don't, we know you cool, you on a roster, and it's like, huh? I'm literally in love with you. They might have a habit of doing relationship type things while they're not technically in a relationship. So it could be like a weird, super long situationship. It also makes me really sad because Raven and I are the same age. You should not be dealing dealing with that with a man of this age. And then Dominic is even earlier, is even older than that, I believe. I honestly don't even think that good music will really come out of this relationship either. Like I said, she already had her love me not moment. We don't need any more of those, okay? Like, all this heartbreak and all this bullshit, we do not need that. I think it's one of those things where he could really drain her or really throw her off. So, like, it might be that the energy from this relationship, if it was negative, literally cannot be siphoned. Like, I don't know, it's just like my sister is at her most, at her lowest, at her most depressed. Like, he, when I tell you, took her through there, like, literally took her ass to the ringer. I don't know that she will fully address this in the public. Like I said, make a song about him. She might, you know, it might be clear at some point that she is single again or she is not talking to him. But I do think that she will have an amazing summer if she drops that nigga within the next 2-3 months. For however long they're talking, you got maybe 3-4 months at most before it becomes a liability. I also don't know if Dominic is a cheater, or like I said, he just has a roster. Maybe in his mind they're not even dating all the way, or like, you know, they have an agreement to where like it's okay for him to go fuck off. But I do want to say, Raven, if you meet somebody at this time, I'm not telling her to cheat on her man. I'm just saying that if you meet a man while you're with another man and that other man is not treating you right, leave him. Like, I'm not saying cheat. I'm just saying that if you started humping on somebody a week after y'all broke up, you are totally well within your right to do that. You know, she might not want to because she might feel like she's not that kind of person. What song is that? Is I'm thinking about, is it Vexo or is it City Girl by, I know it's Ari Pensmith, is part of both of those songs. But yeah, it's that energy of like, you know, maybe she just feels like it's not really in my morals to do that to somebody, even if he was fucked up to me. I'm not saying that you have to cheat. I'm just saying that if you wanted to start a relationship a week after you guys stop talking, you're well within your right to do that. There might even be a man who started talking to her during the duration of this relationship or whatever they have going on, who she turned down because, like I said, she maybe didn't want to cheat no matter what happens. But like, it'd be a good time to spin the block. I think he would be very excited to talk to you or giving you a give you a chance. I think he's very understanding, especially if you told him, okay, well, I don't want to talk. Well, you're cool, but like, you know, I only don't want to do this because I have somebody already, or, you know, I'm just a one man kind of girl. I will say that whoever this is, I don't know. I'm thinking about the black guy in the Summer Fling video for Willow Smith. I don't know if this is like a dark skinned man or there's something about him where he has that like very like spiritual bohemian thing about him, maybe even in his style. But one thing I will say is that nigga hates the friend zone. He hates he's dying to get out. So I really don't think that this is someone who's gonna have an issue with her saying no because she was in a relationship, but wanting to revisit it later, especially if he's still single, or just, he's open, he has like a roster, he has open options, but he's not necessarily taken. I don't know if this partner that she's going to be with next, especially if she gives this person a chance and it's someone who's come back around, or I don't like. To me, it feels like she probably met this person during the duration of a relationship, but she's going to give him a chance. This person, they could be in a long term relationship. I wouldn't be surprised if they got married, or they were just together for such a long time that they could have gotten married. And I'm going to also say this: even if they were married, I don't know that they will stay together forever. They could definitely get married, possibly like have kids or have a home, or some family life of some sort, and then leave each other. But one thing I will say is that, because I'm thinking about Kandi and Todd, where it's like you can do the whole nine, and then things unfortunately still might not work. But like not similar to Kandi and Todd, but like you are going to be very happy with this. You're going to feel like your life is in a more prosperous place. Like she's going to feel like, I have the love that I've always waited for, or someone who I've always, or someone, good to treat, someone to treat me good, which is what I've always wanted. She can write amazing music about him. Like he could be the word Grammy, because I know that did she get nominated for the Grammys this year? I don't know if she got a single nomination. I don't remember. But this could be something like either gets her Grammy nominated, or she literally wins some of the stuff that she writes about love. This could honestly be a super great album. I'm not saying that it's going to be the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, but it could definitely be an amazing album on love. Like when we talk about the themes or the concepts of falling in love or something like that, that could be something that this album is like that could be the premise of this album, and it could be a really good take on it. If you're into K-pop, this is so specific. If you're into K-pop, there's a song called Bloom by Gain, where it's about love, and it's about literally, I think it's actually literally about losing your virginity, but it's actually, I know it out of context, it sounds crazy, but if you watch the video and you listen to the song, it's a very beautiful take on it. It's very interesting, seeing, it's literally about awakening to your sexuality. There's even, I don't want to be too because it sounds crazy, but there's a scene in the video where she's literally playing with that cat. There's something about this where it's the experience of her first true love, or this person who's going to change her life significantly could be this person could change her life significantly, and it could turn out to be an amazing body of work. And this could create not just a hit song, but a hit album as well. So I do think that this is going to be a highly successful era. It's going to be one of those albums. I'm thinking about Bailey Ray. There's something about this that's a very pivotal time. This could also be very folksy, or because Raven is pop, for sure, and she can do R&B, but she can be very folk, just like Love Me Not. So this could definitely be in that kind of range, or they could kind of compare her to Corinne Bailey Ray. She's definitely meant to fall in love right now, but this nigga, what do you call it? Like I said, he's fucking everything. He's meant to fucking everything. He's standing in the way. He's really, I don't know if he's a Capricorn or something like that, but there's something about his energy where he's literally just standing in the way. She's just obsessed with him, or he wants her to be obsessed with him, and it's you just want the attention, you're not even gonna do anything with it. Move. I feel like this next relationship, she could feel like this person, I'll say the intimacy could be amazing, but also this person could take really a lot of care of her, or she has a lot less worries than she does possibly with Dominic, because she might be the kind of person where her mind wanders a lot. If he's not responding, she's like, damn, are you outside cheating? Are you outside talking to this bitch in the club when I told you don't go to the fucking club, and this and that. Like I said, I don't necessarily know that this next partner is going to be super amazing or perfect in the long run, but I do think it's something that, for example, if she was the more money partner between the two of them, I don't think that's something that's it's very similar to Kandi and Todd. It's not necessarily something that it's not something that inherently makes a relationship not worth it. I don't know if it's going to be an issue in the long run. Maybe because, and when I say that, I'm not just talking about you make 100,000 and your man makes 80, so you dropping your dick on him. It's more let's say that you're making 100 and then your man is, maybe he lost his job, and so he goes from making 80 to making 0, or he's stealing money, or he's doing something strange with his finances. It could be something like that. I also wonder if he might even be spending money on things that he is not supposed to. So I don't know if this is tricking off on bitches, you using our fucking rent money so go hump on bitches. Are you fucking kidding me? But yeah, this is definitely going to be and that energy, I don't know if it's even Dominic. I wouldn't think that Raven is out earning Dominic right now, but I literally don't know what he does. Anything is possible, really. But this next person that she's going to be with is definitely going to be a family member to her. He's definitely, like I said, he could definitely be the love of her life, or someone that she was meant to experience because of what the art that she's going to be able to create from this experience, it's gonna be amazing. Like, it's literally going to be like, it's going to, like, like, for example, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill has never released another project after that, but people know her 20, almost 30 years later for that one body of work. I think it's going to put Raven in a place where she's not just a girl who had like an amazing breakout moment. She's an established and respected artist. Even like Corinne Bailey Ray and like Put Your Records On is a song that people remember 20 years later. You might not necessarily be able to cite the album, you might not necessarily be able to talk about another song, but it's such a hit. Like, it's timeless. It's a timeless hit, and it's a classic that she's going to create. This all might also be, I know I talked about folk, this might also be kind of neo soul as well. I do think Raven has a little bit more fighting to do in her career. I don't think that people, like I said, I don't think she got any Grammy nominations, or I don't know, she lost the one that she had. I don't remember exactly. I'll put it up. But she's definitely going to have to fight for respect a little bit more. But I do think this is something in the next 2 to 3 years, depending on when she decides to release this album, she will get the respect that she deserves. And she might feel like she has to work tirelessly, or she went through a lot. But like I said, it could just be her mental with this man that she's with right now, where it's like, my mind is not really focused, or I'm not writing amazing music, or she might even feel like, I'm not really writing the kind of music I need to in order to kind of hit that stride the way I need to. And like I said, it's because she kind of needs to be in love with someone who's actually deserving of love, because this next breakthrough, if you ask me, is going to be highly about love. I know Lauryn Hill's album was about love, but it was really like, it really talked about heartbreak. I don't think Raven's album is going to be more so much about heartbreak. It might like feature it. It might even feature it getting over heartbreak because of a new lover. But yeah, she could also create generational wealth, or never have to worry about money again. This actually reminds me of A Thousand Miles by Vanessa Carlton. So whatever song this is might be highly referenced, or she might make a lot of money off of like what is it called, syncs, like placements or something like that. It's like, if you worried about rent this month, don't worry, because when the first hit, I'm gonna get my my placement check, and then everything's gonna be right. This might be a highly sampled song, like, like songs like I'm Never Gonna Give You Up, or just like, there are a bunch of songs from the 80s and 90s that are always like reused in commercials and stuff like that. This could be one of those that's referenced a lot, a lot. Very important for her right now to experience life and to specifically fall in love. I think falling in love is going to change her life for the better, and she's going to be very grateful that she met this person, or she had the experiences that she did. And that's a way to elevate herself. Because of the feelings that she feels, she's going to be able to create an amazing body of work. Like I said, I can kind of see her with a baby. I do think that I can see her with a baby. I do think that this is a baby that's gonna, if you ask me, I'll say in the next 4 to 5 years. If you ask me, I do think that she'll be in her early to mid 30s, so probably anywhere from like 32 to like 35. Um, or maybe maybe she's like going on 32 when she ends up having this child, something like that. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's necessarily going to be a perfect relationship. I just think that the relationship is meant to happen for what it's going to do for her. And Raven, do not worry about breakups again. Okay, bad bitches get chose. Old bad bitches get chose. You don't see P. Willie had 2 marriages, both of them crashed and burned, and she's with her a stud, and she got her baby taken care of. You don't worry about nothing, bitch. Okay. But yeah, I know this is almost 20 minutes. This feels like such a quick check in. I just hope that she's doing well, but I know she's gonna do better. I know she's gonna literally is gonna do better. And I wish her the best. Raven, like I said, bitch, I love you if you ever see this. And good night.